we get started, hit that like button and subscribe. All right, welcome back, man. Oh, it's another Saturday morning. Man, let me tell you guys a story, man. So, uh, yesterday I had to take a UST operator certification. That's an AMB class operator certification. And what that is if your facility or your plant have a underground storage tanks, say for fuel, you have to have some emergency action plan in place, and you must have someone there that's certified in the event of a emergency. They must know who to call. You must have all that stuff posted. So, and it's something that is required by DEP. So, I was kind of like thrown in the certification class because one gentleman he left the company and they kind of passed it along to me. So I didn't know what I was getting myself into. So make a long story short, I was the man. So I did some research on it, looked up some notes. Looked up a couple of articles and stuff like that. They didn't really give me any books or anything. So I jotted down some notes prior to testing. And I was like, okay. So we go in there. It's approximately eight individuals, including myself. In this particular exam, you cannot have any notes present when you're taking the exam. But you can look back at your notes when you're going through the modules. It's approximately 8 modules, man. So I started at 8 o'clock. We wrapped everything up like 2:30. So while I'm in there, the instructor was like, hey, I trained 3,000 people. And out of this 3,000 people, 300 people failed. So then he looked around, he looked around, he was like, somebody in here is going to be 301. So I'm like, oh man, 301. Then he was like, yeah, it's 200 questions. So I was like, man. So I'm getting nervous, like, man, I ain't ready for no 200 questions, right? So I'm like, okay. So later he retracted that as we went through the modules and stuff like that. So one guy came late. He arrived late. I think he was like an hour late, and he missed maybe one module. So we're in there testing. So I'm looking at my notes. My notes was fine, Notes was fine, looked at it. So when it was time to test, he gave us a couple of minutes to, get ourselves prepared, use the bathroom. So I said, I'm going to use the restroom. So when I went to the restroom, the guy that was behind me, he told me, the guy that's behind me said he walked by and was trying to, look at my notes, see what was going on. He said he couldn't read them. So I'm like, So then when I get back from my desk, man, I'm telling you, when I look back at my notes, man, I'm telling you, man, it looked like the suckers was in Spanish. It looked like I was writing in Spanish. It's like my brain was like, uh-oh, time to test. And my brain just like looked at the notes and everything looked in Spanish. It looked in Spanish. So then I flipped it. Then it looked like it was in German. So I'm like, man, what is going on? And as I kept flipping through it, you know what it looked like? It looked like I was taking a lie detector test. Like that sucker was like... So listen, I'm sitting up there like, man, what did I write? What is going on? So he was like, is everybody ready for the test? So I'm like, man, all right. So I was like, all right, put the notes up, took everything, everything was going off the desk, out in the other room, if you had any paper, any books or anything. So gave us the test. So I'm in there like, man, looking around, looking like, I know they got something in here that can help me out. And then he looked over like, is everything all right? I was like, yeah, I'm just minding the artwork in here. Yeah, Everything's okay. So I'm looking around like, man. So I finally, man, I calmed down, I calmed down and just focus on the question, man, because I'm telling you, man, my notes was all jacked up. They were jacked up, man. So I didn't want to be 301. I didn't want to be 301, man. So I think the guys from the township, they passed, of course, all of them uh, got the same amount of questions wrong because they, like I said, they were in their own little group stage. And I think me and the other gentleman was the last two out. So I got three wrong. You can only get, I think it was, you couldn't get no more than six wrong. So I got three wrong out of that. I got my certificate, took that back, man. Then the other guy who came late, man, he got more wrong than he got right. But I think the instructor was going to give him another opportunity to take the test. But man, I don't know what was going on, man. Them notes was all jacked up, man. All jacked up. So prior to that, it was just a funny story to me. I just wanted to, let you guys know, man. Just, it was a funny story, man. Them freaking notes was all jacked up. So what I gotten into, I don't really have no, news articles and stuff like that. I kind of, because I'm really busy, man. I'm trying to do a couple of things, trying to be certified, trying to, help a couple of individuals out. So what I did yesterday was I put a dryer vent. I was installing a dryer vent. Didn't have anywhere to vent the dryer exhaust. What they had was they had one of those indoor dryer exhausts, and I'm going to tell you, if you have one of those dryer exhausts, you're going to create moisture if you're venting inside, if you're venting it inside of a garage or in your house. You don't want to do that. You want to get someone that's knowledgeable of how to install these dryer vents, or you can look it up on YouTube if you're handy. And yeah, man, you want to put that in. You don't want to go to the store and get one of those indoor dryer vent hookup, man, because I'm telling you, once you start that dryer up, all that moisture is going to be trapped inside of your dwelling, and you're going to get mold. You're going to get, you're going to create a hazardous environment for you, your pets. You don't want to do that. So I didn't really have my camera and everything set up. I just, going to show you how I did. What I did was they didn't have a vent in the house, so I went through the floor joists. I went through the ceiling because it was somebody finished the garage off the ceiling, but they didn't put a dryer vent in. So I went through the floor. I went through the ceiling, and I went through the floor joist rim. Marked the hole. Then I got my 4 1/4 hole saw. I just used a standard drill. Well, it's a Milwaukee hammer drill, a little small one, nothing big. And then I took a quarter of inch, 12-inch bit first and drove it through. I measured everything. Now you got to make sure you're measuring. You just don't want to start going through areas and you don't know what's on the other side, and you don't want to put it close to the air conditioner. You don't want to do that. So you want to make sure also, I don't know what's your building codes, but you want to make sure that it's 12 inches off from the ground. You don't want to put it too low. It's got to be a certain height. So you got to look at your state building codes. You got to look up your area's building codes to make sure that you're in compliance. You don't want to start drilling holes and then it's too low, So I measured everything, and the supplies I had, I just went to the local hardware store. What I'm going to do, I'm going to probably go and get that. I didn't use the. I just used what I had. I just got a piece of hard. The what is it? Shit, I wish I had it on me. My brain is getting blank, like I'm taking a test again. Well, listen, I went to the local hardware store and I got the dryer vent with the aluminum sheet on the metal sheet metal, and then I just got some not the flimsy kind of the duct. I got it's kind of look like hard aluminum foil. It's aluminum, It's about 8 feet of it. So and I got some tape, a couple of got some tie downs and all that. But I think I'm gonna go to Lowe's and get some more piping. But I just did this so the clothes can dry and stuff like that. But so let me get to the point. I got a couple of I just got a video on there. I don't have a video of me cutting it out, but I'm showing you far as what I did, the area where I went through and how it looks from the outside. And then probably at the end of the day, because I had to go run back to the store and pick someone up, and actually had to go pick my dog up, and this is what I finished up with as far as that. So I'm going to show that, and then yeah, if anybody have any questions as far as tools and stuff like that, man, I'll answer it in the comments or whatever. But yeah, it's not that hard, man. It's not that hard, man, because people out there, man, if they get nervous and they feel as though they're gonna break something, just relax, take your time, and man, you can do it. It's not that hard. All right, so I'm gonna roll the put the little clip together I put together, and yeah, I'll let you guys see what I did. All right, I'm out, guys. So I'm going down here to finish. As soon as it gets a little light outside, it look like it's light, I'm gonna go down here and plant some tomatoes, and I got some bell peppers I'm gonna plant. So, and then I gotta hook up this this deck umbrella that I got, and then yeah, man. So all right, man, continue to stock up on your supplies. Do what you gotta do, man. Me personally, it's always good to take a break from social media. You don't want to get yourself bogged down. Take a break, take a vacation, have fun, stay in good. Your health is more important. You don't want to sit up here and stress yourself out over the stuff you see on the news, or stuff that you read. Just take a break, relax, and if you're stressed, get a garden. Plant a garden, grow a garden. Do something that's going to take your mind away from the stressful environments. All right, so I'm out. Hit that like button and subscribe. Thank you for watching. All right, welcome back. All right, so what I'm getting into today is I'm installing a basically a dryer vent exhaust pipe, because in this house right here, it did not come with a dryer vent exterior exhaust. So I'm gonna be putting that in. Actually, let me turn this camera over. As you can see, I'm going through the joist brim right there. You can see what I'm at right there, what I'm doing. And then I'm going to bring it down to the dryer right here. Man, that's what I'm getting into. So I'm going to pick it up on the other side. All right, when you drilling these, when you putting in these exhaust ports, exterior exhaust ports, make sure that it's at least, let me show you right here. This is 16, maybe 18 inches off the ground. It's got to be more than 12 inches, as far as the building code. So it's more than 12 inches off the ground. So I'm gonna finish this up and I'm out. All right, welcome back. I just finished up. I just went to the local hardware store But I'm gonna go back to Home Depot and get the probably some more piping. But I got it hooked up with some of this hardware. You know, it's better than that cheap stuff. But let me show you what I did. Alright, so I got it going. As you can see, it's venting out. Yep. So better than venting inside the house.